the the uh, the two atomic bombs had been dropped, and we, as well as everybody else, had no idea what an atomic bomb was even, and what it would do other than what we heard. And because all we were doing is preparing for the invasion of Japan. And off of Okinawa, I would say that because our camp was almost on the beach, in tents, and if you looked out in the water, I would say you'd see at least 200 Navy ships. I mean, everything from warships, battleships, cruisers, destroyers, all sorts of ships, freighters and everything else. And I can remember that night they said there's going to be a typhoon. Okay, so there's going to be a typhoon. And they said to tie down your tents more and everything else, which we did. And that night this typhoon came up. It blew almost every tent down. I would be hunkered down in the tombs that are along the beach in Okinawa. And in the next morning, it was like devastation of any kind of building. And we looked out in the water, and there was no ships whatsoever. And Halsey, the admiral, had taken the ships away from the island to get away from the storm. And he thought he was smart enough to know where to go, but he didn't. The storm
Followed him.
tricked him, and we lost the front of aircraft carriers, the big front that you need, because our aircraft carriers were small, remember what we have today, and it ripped them off. I think we lost, I don't know, 4 or 5 cruisers. I don't know how many destroyers was sunk from this typhoon. In fact, if we had to invade Japan, we would have had a part of a navy, really. We'd have been in real trouble. And anyway, we recovered our tents and all. And we were told we're going to load up on LSTs, and the LSTs came along to shore. We loaded them all up, and we didn't know where we were going to go now. And we got on the LSTs, and we left, and they said, you're going to be near to where the signing of the armistice is going to be on the Missouri. Well, we knew that was Tokyo Harbor. And we sailed into Tokyo Harbor, and I bet there were 100 LSTs along Yokohama Beach, as far as you could see. Every one of them with the doors open, unloading cargo and everything, armament, everything you could think of. And we then went down to Air Base in Wagawa, and I was there for quite a few months until the end of 45, and they added up the time you were in the service, where you were, invasions you were in. Every one of those had points, and if you had so many points, I think it was 60 or something like that, you were eligible to go home.
Huh.
We didn't realize we'd go home, you know. The war was actually over, really, but you don't think about it that way. And because during that time, they gave me a 2.5-ton truck to drive and pick up 10 Japanese every morning and take them to work. They couldn't speak English, I couldn't speak Japanese, and we got along okay. And I would drive them to work and then pick them up and go back at night and all the way through. So that's what I was doing there after a while, because what was there to do. And the people were very good, very friendly, and I had no trouble with them whatsoever. And I can still remember we went down to the dock, which was in remnants, and we were lined up, ready to go on the ship to take us home. And they brought up 3 guys what is you carry a person on a
Like a
stretcher.
yeah,
Stretcher. And we said, what happened? Well, they said they went out the night before, which they said nobody should leave the base at all. And they left the base to celebrate, and the bars and all were just no more than some guy with a plank serving liquor. You know, that's what they had.
It was a bar.
It was a bar. That's you got it. You're right. That's what
A
it was.
2x4
that's
bar.
How crude it was in Tokyo. But Tokyo was completely burnt out, and they had been given wood alcohol in their drink.
Oh my gosh.
You can't tell us, but they made it because they had none. And wood alcohol, one of the things is that you can go blind.
Oh my gosh.
And these three guys here, ready to go home, are being taken home, and they couldn't see.
Oh.
They were being taken on the ship. And I can always remember that point on that, you know, never, don't go drinking liquor or anything if you don't know where it's been at all. It's too dangerous. And anyway, and we came home on the ship, and I still remember going under the Golden Gate Bridge, and the fireboat was out there squirting water up in the air and tooting away. And
Sounds like Phoenix last night.
What?
Oh, was that on video?
Yeah.
Can we cut that part out?
yeah, and then
Sorry.
stayed in Tokyo for a couple of
Positive
days and then
story.
came home.